Hi and welcome to this video on Mosaic, a brand new inspirational toolbox instrument from UVI. Big thanks to UVI for sending me this instrument and for sponsoring this video. Let's take the tour. Okay, so we have a preset here called Arpeggiator Future. Yeah, so first off, we can either run Mosaic within the UVI workstation synth, which is the free plugin from UVI, or we can run this within the flagship synth Falcon. And today I'm going to run Mosaic via the Falcon synth. So we can see that we have 1 octave of keys here to trigger different chords with this particular preset. And we can see all the chords here for each of the colored keys. And the really cool thing about Mosaic here is we can use the white keys here on the keyboard to trigger these different chords and different arpeggios. And then we can use the black keys above to trigger different punch-in effects, like you would do on like an OP-Z or like the performance effects on the machine. I feel that before we start really digging into creating a musical piece, I think we need to go to the browser. Yes, we have a few different ways of finding the presets in Mosaic. So we can either use this rightmost browser in the Falcon synth to browse through the different libraries and patches. And we can use this large browser overview, where we get a more like focused, pure browser view. Yeah! But a quicker way is probably to use the Mosaic's built-in browser, just by clicking the preset name here. Okay, so the base concept around the Mosaic here seems to be to work with pre-made chord progressions that you can of course change if you want or need to. And we can also browse through different chord progression categories. Just go down here to the chords. We currently have Dear Future in a category called the Melancholic. Let's try a pop star. Let's try some energetic Morning Star. Okay, so here's a fun sound. So let's go into this first key, the C1, and we can see we have these 5 different notes. And we can also play these one by one. And you might notice that we have different samples for each of the 5 notes. So we can basically have either like every note triggering a 5-note chord or a 5-note arpeggio or a 5-note sequence. And we can of course also go in here and change these samples if we want to. But a really fun way here to explore a variety of different variations on this is using the Mutate feature. So we have this little button up here, a little bit small. It's called Mutate Sounds. So let's hear when we press this. A totally different vibe, because pressing this button will effectively change and swap out all these samples for all the different notes. So if you have a cool chord, you like the notes, but you don't really like the sounds, try out the mutate function here and get awesome sounds. So what do you think about this one? And there's also more to the randomization feature in Mosaic. If we look at the top here, we also have a generate a brand new preset. So let's try that one. Cool. Let's try another one. Yeah, so not every preset that you randomize is going to sound great, but just press it again. And you can always swap out the chord progression if you want something else, maybe some uplifting moments. Let's try random again here. Cool. And we can also mutate the preset. So from my point of view, I see this as a very inspirational experimental toolbox that can of course get your creative vibes going if you ran out of ideas or something. Just go in here, maybe find some presets, or find a preset and then randomize and mutate it and make it like your own. So it's definitely going to be a great helper toolbox if you find yourself out of inspiration for the moment. So it's like a one button, and then you have like a finished backdrop for your track. Just add the drums, of course, maybe using Mosaic, and you're good to go. Just add some vocals and you have your track going. Or at least you have a beginning to a track. You can always go to the effect chain, change the master crystal portal, change that to golden bloom. Yeah, so a lot of inspiration here already. And if you don't like that Arpeggiator sequence, just go to the Motion tab. We see it's set to Arpeggiator, so it's gonna arpeggiate through these different 5 notes. So let's change that to the note sequence. Maybe something like this. Yeah, so again, it's really simple to make this sound your own and to have your own creative take. Okay, so as you can see, when we change different patches here in Mosaic, we also change the chord progressions by default. But we can always keep the chords from one of the presets when we swap patches or presets. We can just click this lock chord, and now when we swap patches, you can see that the chords don't change dramatically. And you can also lock the key, of course. So let's use this patch, and we're gonna load a second patch and keep the chords and use the chords from Cinematic Meditations on the next patch too. So let's go into this next track. And now we can basically browse here through presets and see if we can find a complementary sound that works with the previous arpeggio. You can experiment and find patches that work well together. And yeah, it's going to be really useful to use this chord lock feature when you add up different patches from Mosaic. Mosaic. Cool. So let's go into the browser, going into filtering by drums. Yeah, so we're gonna load up the beep beep here and exit the browser so we can see the interface again. Right, so now when we have a drum beat or a drum patch selected, we actually trigger different patterns with the different keys. And as you can hear, when we press the C1 here, we get just a kick, and then if we press the D, filtered tom or something, and then we have the snare on the E key. And then these punching effects on the black keys. But you can of course go in here and change all this. So maybe we want to have more of that or less of that, like filtered tom. So we can just click this one and go to the motion tab. And here we have a separate sequencer for this specific key. And also change these to be different step lengths. So it's really easy to create polyrhythms from inside this motion page. So I'm using the punching effects here, or performance effects, to drop the key one octave. So maybe we can do that for the arrangement here. Let's go into the effects and see what we can do in the effects tab in Mosaic. A little bit of grit with the redux. Maybe add some more delay in here. Oh, there's also different effect chains that we can choose from here. So currently set to multi-voice. Let's try outer space. Cool. Let's try some motion. And here it might be a really quick song sketch tool to get the really cool sounds going, and it actually sounds like a great balanced mix without too much EQing or too much fiddling with effects and stuff, because you have everything in there in the plugin, really accessible out of the box, so to speak. Okay, so that's a wrap for today. The current price for Mosaic is 99 euros at the making of this video, and I think the regular price is 199 euros. And it might seem like a hefty price, but again, you have to think about the time you might save from like coming up with great chord progressions and great sound mixes to match these chord progressions. So it might be well worth it. As always, leave any type of questions in the comments, and of course give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed my videos here on YouTube. And I'm gonna leave you here with a little snippet that I recorded. I got inspired by one of the sounds I found here in Mosaic, and I wrote a little bit of lyrics, and this is what we got. Close your eyes and feel cold sigh. Echoes of dreams left behind and never die. I still hear the words you left behind. When I'm gone, look for the sign, and the midnight breeze will call my name. Through shadow fields where spirits remain. From dusk till dawn, with secrets still aside, the lost ones roam with nowhere to hide. We are the haze that the world can trace. But we linger on in timeless space.